With me now is the living legend, Eddie Davis, who is actually also, of course, a daddy. So how many kids do you have?
5.
So,
2 girls, 3 boys.
okay. And I know that your boys are involved in harness racing. So we've got, of course, Eddie Jr., Alan, Martin. So tell me, what do you think the best advice is that you've ever given your sons as far as driving's concerned?
I really told them I don't care what they do what they can to make a good living, and if you're going to drive horses, be patient. You've got to be patient.
You know, one of the things that Alan told us that you told him was actually great advice before they even go out on the track to check all the equipment.
Well, he's given me a lot of advice about driving, but the best advice I've really got from him has been off the track. Like before I go out on the track, it's like check your lines, check your hobbles, check your equipment. And when he first told me that, I really paid him no mind. I was like, they got it. They'll have everything. And a couple times the line come back and it wasn't a good feeling. So then I listened to him, started checking all that stuff, and I found a couple before I went out that didn't have the line up. So I'm glad I listened after the first couple times. It took me 2 times, like a hard-headed, and I should have listened right away because he's right on.
I told him definitely, whatever you do, always check your lines, always. I don't care if the parade's messed up, check your lines. That's a safety thing.
What about training? Can you think of the best advice for training a horse that maybe you've ever given your sons?
I always told them whatever you do, don't get to the half too fast. You're better off coming to the last half fast. If you're trying to make up time, make it up late.
I would say the best advice my father's ever given me is not to go too much too fast with your babies. And make sure you always got your equipment on right. That's the best advice my father's ever given me.
Now tell us about this Miss Star of Nova. So she gave you, I think, number 8,635 for your wins. So you actually, well, your wife Kathy is the owner and the breeder. So you guys actually had the mare, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
She was a nice mare too.
And she was born right there. I mean, Miss Star of Nova born right there at the farm.
Right at the farm. She had never left the farm till I brought her down here to school.
Now, if you don't remember Nova Artis, oh my gosh, so much fun to watch. I mean, he was one of the DSOA horses of the meet at Dover a few years in a row, I think. I mean, just a phenomenal racehorse, and he was fun to race and fun to breed him now.
You know, really, when I put Alan down on this horse, he said, "Dad, I cannot drive that horse." I said, "What do you mean you can't drive him? All these horses you're driving, you never leave the rail. You got to split up 2 horses, hope you can get 4th or 5th. What do you mean?" He said, "I just can't drive a horse like that." I said, "You're on him." They signed him the 8-hole. I said, "Man." So when they got ready to race, I said, "Alan, I'll tell you what to do. When the man says go, take him back. At the quarter pole, you move him and just come slow up the outside and hope nobody don't come in front of you." He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Hope nobody don't come out. And when you get to the 3/4, I want you to the wheel of the horse in the front and set him going." He win by 5 and 48 or 49 and 3. Win by, I don't know, 7 lengths, 8 lengths. After that, he said, "Hey, no wonder people want to drive these kind of horses."
Yeah, they're the fun ones to drive. But you just tell them what to do, and you're almost like a passenger.
I didn't have to tell him nothing after that. For the next 7 or 8 races, he just run off the screen.
Now, I saw your wife, Kathy, recently, and she said to me, she's like, "Heather, can you believe Eddie is still driving?" You know, she gets super nervous when you're out there. And I said, "Kathy, he looks like he sat in the bike like every single race during the card. I mean, you still sit in the bike just like you never took any time off."
That's what everybody tells me.
It's true. So how are you going to make yourself happy by continuing to drive and your wife happy?
I'm going to just keep driving. You know, sometimes I really don't like driving, really. Not too much, you know. And like the other night, I raced 3 here, and my back was killing me when I got done. But I'll drive occasionally. I'm not going to keep driving all the time.
All right, okay.
Got to take a break.
Yeah, well, you deserve it. You've been
I
around.
took 5 or 6 years off, come right back and win my first drive, so it's not all bad.
I know. I'm stalking you. I know all about what you're doing out there on the racetrack. It's fun.
My first drive back was Miss Darnova at Ocean Downs, and she had a finals or something coming up she had to race in. I just took her back. I was last going to 3/4, and they're running all into one another down Ocean Downs. So I just moved right 3 deep. I said, I'm getting out of this mess. And I sat out there, she just cruised on around the turn. I just kind of lifted the lines and hollered around the stretch. She went right on by. She won 2-1 that night.
Don't you know we had that on post time? Yes, yeah, and I put it on Facebook. Yeah, no, it was in, and then everybody like just loves the fact that you're still getting to the winner's circle and haven't missed a beat, really. Before I let you go, since it is Father's Day, we talked about advice for training and driving. You got any best life advice? Like anything, doesn't have to be about harness racing or anything about that. Just how do you live your life and be living the dream like Eddie Davis, you know?
Well, all I do, I get up every morning early and go down to the barn and do my thing. And after I'm done that, I ride around and see people and do things. It's, it's nice, really. I don't really care to come to track all the time. It just kind of, I don't know, makes the day longer.
Right.
Sometimes I like to go to bed about 10:30.
Hey, I'm with you. I mean, I'm more like a 9:30 type of girl, actually.
If I go to bed that early, I guess because I run down the road so much. If I go to bed before 10:30, I'll be awake 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I have to wait a little bit because not I'm awake too early. Nothing to do.
And then hit the ground running.
Yeah. You're right, Heather. You're right.
Thank you, Eddie. Yeah, and happy Father's Day.
Thank you very much.